Hey y'all, Jordan Claude James here. Call me Claude, please. Today we train chest, and today we focused on maximizing the resistance required to force the chest to grow. So we're not worried about weight here. We're not worried about reps. It's really a combination of both, along with controlling the weight. So what we're doing here is we're emphasizing controlling the weight, making sure that we're maximizing the stretch, maximizing the contraction, and then making sure that we're not trying to muscle the weight. So we keep it fairly light. I think we got up to about 205 maybe on this chest press machine. But that's more than enough for me. Like, for instance, if you can bench 315, but if you could power 315, then you could probably lift this for control of about 10 to 15 reps. And I think I did 20 on one of these sets. I aim in between 12 and 15, but on my last set, so I do 3 sets. One is warm up, second one is a working set, third one is the failure. So with that recipe, what I'm trying to do is making sure that I'm not lifting something that my body isn't prepared to do, so I don't get injured. 2, so that I can make sure that I'm properly warmed up. I know that the first one is supposed to be the warm-up, but the second one is to make sure that I'm not jumping from, let's say, the bar, or even a couple plates to 2, 3 plates out of nowhere. No, we don't want to do that. So the second one is a working set. It's a working set, which means I'm working with a weight that I can push for a certain amount of reps to the point where it will at some point be challenging. Whereas my warm-up set, I could probably do that for a couple minutes and, still be wondering, am I tired, or am I just bored? You know what I mean? So, and then the third set is, I know for a fact, like, it's not going to be long before I fail with this weight, especially if I'm controlling the weight, if I'm controlling the stretch, if I'm controlling the contraction, and I'm really trying to just force the muscle to break. So in this exercise and in all of my exercises, that's what I try to emphasize on the third set. And I broke it down to 3 sets. And I'm breaking all my exercises down to 3 sets from here on out, because I feel like in the past, I've had a habit of overtraining to the point where, if you're going to train these muscles twice a week, you can only do so many sets. I've heard of people doing 20 sets a week. The way I train, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. My body is not recovering like that. I can't train 20 sets. I can't train 10 sets per muscle group per workout twice a week. I can't do it. 3, that's gonna do it for me. Like, I just got to make sure that the last one is to failure. That's my recipe for success. That's what's been forcing me to grow. Right now, I'm about 220 pounds. I think the last time I recorded myself, one of the last times I recorded myself, I was around 190, 180. So I put on a significant amount of weight in a short amount of time just by changing the way that I work out. My eating routine hasn't changed at all, so I'm hoping that, there's something to learn from the way that I've changed, the way that I train. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and stay tuned. So, you guys, starting here One thing that we really wanted to emphasize one thing that I really wanted to emphasize when training chest is making sure that the squeeze was going to pump as much blood into the muscles that I was trying to train as possible. So the squeeze isn't, in my mind, as important as the stretch. I think that the stretch is more important when it comes to breaking down the muscle. And the muscle breaking down is very important when it comes to rebuilding it. The more it breaks down, the more it rebuilds. And if it breaks down under a certain amount of stress, you need to apply more stress to it the next time, which will force it to grow more and more and more. That is the theory. In practice, it's a little harder than that because there's only so much stress that the human body can take, and thus there's only so much that the human body can grow under certain conditions. As a natural athlete, I'm still figuring this out. It's still very challenging, especially when it comes to the chest area, for me to grow. My legs, my arms, even my back are, substantial. They grow substantially. They grow substantially faster than my chest area grows. So that's why I make such an emphasis on training the chest. So in this exercise, I flare the elbows a little bit. If you want to lift more weight, you wouldn't do this. But what I'm trying to emphasize is the stretch and the contraction. So by flaring the elbows, I feel like I can get a better squeeze and a better stretch. But by flaring the elbows, I also have to lower the weight. So there is a give, but I think that I gain a little bit more by lowering the weight and getting a better stretch and a better contraction. So here you can see my arms, my elbows are very far from my rib cage, or at least further than they could be if I was pushing for maximum weight. Like, I could probably do a lot more of that stack if I was trying to go for power, but since I'm training for muscle, a lot less so. And then we go to the skull crushers. Now, I like to do standing skull crushers because it just works more of the body. I feel like when I'm doing it like this, I have to make sure that my core is sturdy, my shoulders are sturdy, of course my arms, my elbows are sturdy, my knees, and make sure that everything is in alignment so that I can push as efficiently as possible. And I just feel, I don't like, with that being the case, there's nothing that's not being trained. Yes, there's an emphasis on the triceps here, of course, but I'm not lacking, or I'm not ignoring any other body part while I'm training like this. So that's really what I'm trying to emphasize. I'm trying to emphasize the triceps, but I'm not ignoring my other body parts by standing, as opposed to laying down and on a bench and just trying to reverse curl this over my head. And again, like, there's definitely been a fall off between this video, my last video, and even the video before that. I try to make a point of uploading every day at one point, and then I try to make a point of just uploading consistently, and then I try to make a point of just getting to the gym. There was at one point where I was at the gym for about 3 months in a row, nonstop, 7 days a week. And, you know, at one point it felt like it was nothing to keep that up. I don't know what changed, but I got distracted. And I think that it's important to acknowledge that I think that could happen to anybody. You know, the fall off, the distractions, the, you know, not being locked in at all times. It could really happen to anybody, no matter how invested you are, no matter how much you love what you're doing. I'm not making any excuses. Like, the whole time I knew that I wanted to be at the gym, and I just wasn't getting there. I knew that I wanted to be recording. I knew that I wanted to be editing. I just wasn't getting it done. And, you know, I take accountability for that. Like, I'm only, like, not that, you know, necessarily hurting myself, but I'm definitely not gaining either. Definitely not getting the gains that I want. So, like I said, I'm just trying to record my own progress towards, you know, something that I've been working towards for a long time. So if you can appreciate it, I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you again. If you like what you saw today, if you like what the mission is, if you appreciate what we're doing here, make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.